So we have plenty to discuss today because unfortunately the Yankees weren't able to win the rubber match. Now, there are a lot of issues with what happened today. There are a lot of issues with what happened this weekend. We talked about these next 6 games as an opportunity for the Yankees to put themselves in a pretty good position. That's not what happened. And end of the day, we said 3-3 wasn't good enough. We said 4-2 might not have been good enough. 3-3 is not cutting it. This team underperformed. This team has underperformed all season. I understand the Aaron Judge injury plays a large factor into why they're underperforming. But there's a lot wrong right now. Luis Severino's outing being this poor bled into today. Had Luis Severino pitched better, the Yankees don't have to go to Jimmy Cordero for 2 innings there. And if the Yankees don't go for Jimmy Cordero for 2 innings there, maybe it's a 2-1 game. Maybe that game's played a little bit differently. Maybe the Yankees have a shot. Maybe the Yankees are a little more aggressive with pinch hitting. Maybe Aaron Boone forces, some base, not Aaron Boone, because Aaron Boone wasn't, I guess Carlos Mendoza calls some base running plays. I'm not saying, by the way, that Boone or Mendoza didn't try to win this game. I'm just, you get what I'm saying, that, the offensive mindset is a lot better, right? The Yankees didn't have options in that bullpen. When you're down 2-1 and you don't have an off day, you don't want to use Clay Holmes and not have him available for tomorrow. You don't want to use Michael King and not have Michael King doesn't even go back to. You can't even use Michael King today. You don't want to use Wandy Peralta and not have him for tomorrow. You don't want to use hell. Do you even want to use Albert Abreu and not have him for tomorrow? We're at the point where that's when your starters aren't giving you depth, length. Like Herman threw a perfect game. He's pitching tomorrow. Do you know what Herman you're getting tomorrow? You don't. There's the possibility he goes out there and, like the last 2 starts beforehand, gets shelled. Clark Schmidt, for as good of a run as he had, is not a guy who's going to pitch 7 innings in a start. It's kind of, 2 times through the order, see how he does batter to batter, 3rd time through, and get him out the game by the 5th or the 6th. That's been the recipe there. You're getting Rodon back. Rodon's going to be on a pitch limit. Cole's been asked really to be perfect, or it's not good enough. And I think that's unfair to Cole. I think Cole did enough today to win the game. Unfortunately, the Yankees didn't do enough. The Cardinals pitching staff sucks. They're terrible. They're not good. The Cardinals pitching staff is bad. Any Cardinals fan will tell you that. That's why they're bad this year. They make bad mistakes. Obviously, think of that, them trying to take 3rd in the bottom of the 1st and getting thrown out. They make bad mistakes. They're poorly coached at times. There was a report that came out that Wilson Contreras didn't know what pitches his pitchers had early in the season. He called the pitch that his pitchers didn't fucking throw. That's the team he just lost the series to. That's pathetic. It's unacceptable. This isn't good enough. That's kind of really all I have to say. Dylan, I don't know if you want to kind of add on with a little bit more depth than I did, which is me just making blanket statements here. But yeah, take the floor, man.
Well, they're not blanket statements. They're just true. I mean, it's been not good enough. Going 3-3 on this 6-game stretch here, that's bad. We said that they need to go 5-1. That was like you had to do it. You're facing 2 of the worst teams in baseball. They go 3-3, and it's just like, really, 3-3. You lose a game to Oakland, then you lose 2 to a last place team in the National League. That's not good at all. And you mentioned Garrett Cole. Yeah, he didn't have his best stuff yet again, but he did keep you in the game. He only gave up 2 runs. He had 2 earned runs in 6 innings. He gave 6 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Not a typical Cole start that I was hoping for. I was hoping for a little bit better, but I'd be lying if I said this was bad. I thought really it was just that 4th inning where he just got absolutely pounded. I mean, they were driving every single pitch he was throwing right up the middle in that 4th inning. So he's lucky he was able to get out of that with only giving up 2 runs. But other than that, I thought he pitched all right. And then, Jimmy Cordero comes in, and that was not a good performance from Jimmy Cordero at all. He gave the 2-run bomb to Brendan Donovan, and you kind of just knew from then on that this game was pretty much over. They weren't going to come back from that when the team only had like 2 hits at the time. Cordero gave 3 earned runs, 5 hits, 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, no walks. I mean, like you mentioned, you didn't want to have to use him in that situation. The game you needed to win, but the bullpen was absolutely shot because of the Severino bad outing and the doubleheader, yesterday. So both those things combined. So I mean, just it was not a good position for the Yankees. They were in a tough spot to begin with. You probably wish Garrett Cole could get you a seventh inning if he could, but his pitch count was up to 98, so you're not going to stretch him out an extra inning, risk of getting hurt, all that stuff, or even risk getting deeper down in a bigger deficit. So it is what it is. I mean, the offense once again did nothing. 3 total hits today. They didn't even get a hit until the 6th inning with Gleyber Torres hitting a double. And then I think Jake Bauers hit an RBI double in the 7th. Looked like they might have had life there. And then the pitching implosion from Cordero took that away. The next hit was an Anthony Volpe single with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So at least Volpe's continuing to swing all right. But, 3 hits, you're not going to win many games doing that. You are not going to get many wins getting only 3 hits in a ball game. No matter how good your pitcher pitches, you got to get some hits. You got to score runs. You got to take advantage of this Cardinals pitching staff, man. The team is 35-48 currently. That is a bad record. They are not a good baseball team this year. Jordan Montgomery is not having an amazing year by any stretch of imagination. He's been better of late. Yes, his ERA has dropped down to 3.28, so I respect it. I know he's been doing a lot better of late, but he got off to a rough start. You also can't let a guy that you used to have on your team, so you should know his pitches more, do this to you again. He did this last year too, where he absolutely shut down the Yankees. He gave up like 2 hits in 7 innings or something like that, and he basically did the exact same thing today. 2 hits in 6 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, and it was the Jake Bauers double. We struck out 6 times against him. He walked us 3 times, so we were getting guys on base even through walks, but we were doing absolutely nothing with them. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to see the offense go from, at one point looking very good, even if it was the Oakland A's, looking very good, putting up crooked numbers back-to-back days in a row, one of them on the same day as a perfect game. Things are looking brighter in Yankee land, and then they go right back to getting 3 hits in a game and only scoring 1 run and striking out a lot. I mean, Gleyber Torres, he had the double, yeah, but he struck out in his other 3 at-bats, so I mean, it's not good. It's not good to watch. This team badly needs Aaron Judge, and unfortunately, we're not going to have him for a while still. We could sit here all we want and say, oh, we need Aaron Judge now. We need Aaron Judge now. We can say that every live stream we want. We do need him now, yes, but we also need these guys to step up. These guys are going to be having to contribute for us for quite a while for now, and if they're going to continue putting up offensive performances like this, they're not going to win many games. They're going to be floating around the same record roughly that they are right now, same amount of games above 500 when Judge comes back. They might be either in the same position playoff-wise when Judge comes back or even lower. Depends how bad it could get. They got to turn things around right now and get into the All-Star break on a good note. Yes, this was an awful series loss, but they can fix it if they get a good series win against a good Baltimore team and then close out the first half with a series win against another bad NL Central team in Chicago. So they have to do those things. Those are kind of just my opening thoughts on, today's game and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. I just want to remind people the Yankees, since June 6th have faced the White Sox, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Red Sox again, the Mariners, the Rangers, the Athletics, and the Cardinals. There's one good team on that list. He's gone 10-13. Without Aaron Judge, this team isn't a playoff team. Without Aaron Judge, this team isn't good. Without Aaron Judge, this team would be, I don't know if this team is much better than any of those teams I've just mentioned. I don't know if this team is much different. Now, Aaron Judge is on this team, and so this team is a playoff team if Aaron Judge is back. But without Aaron Judge and not having Aaron Judge for an extended period of time, you have to question how likely it is they make the postseason. They're currently in a playoff spot. They're fortunate the Astros and the Blue Jays have really struggled to take off. They're right now, they hold the 3rd wild card spot. The Astros, I think, overtook them today after their win against the Rangers. I don't really know what to say. I think end of the day, we could sit here and talk about, what they can do, what they should do, who they should trade for. But this team's not very good. Like, you have to look at this team the way, like, without Aaron Judge, you have to view this team the way you do the White Sox, or the way you, not even the way you view the Red Sox. The Red Sox are above 500. It's not what this team is without Aaron Judge. You have to view this team the way you view, I don't know, like Cleveland or the Mariners. Just not terrible, but not very good. And you have to view them like that. And that's how we have to view this team. And if you're going to buy on that team, would anyone think that, would anyone love to buy on that team? Would anyone love to trade top prospects to make that team better? I'm not sure. I think, again, we've talked about how important the month of July is. If this team doesn't play very well, there's no reason to buy. Why? What would the reason for that be? Especially on rentals, trading prospects who, you don't have a lot of financial space in your luxury tax between you and the 3rd threshold. you'd have to eat up a lot of salary, have other teams eat a lot of salary. And if you want other teams to do that, you have to throw more prospects. The Yankees traded a top 100 prospects to get Anthony Rizzo when they got him because they had the Cubs eat all that money. That would be the equivalent to trading like Everson Pereira for like, I'm trying to think of an example here. For like Marcus Stroman, like if you were to try to get like Marcus Stroman's probably the deadline, not really a deadline equivalent, but similar enough, good pedigree, rental. The Yankees would need someone to pay the money on that because they couldn't afford it. But they don't have the luxury tax space for it. And what am I going to trade Everson Pereira to get Marcus Stroman and get bounced in the playoffs? But hey, we didn't allow a lot of runs. I don't know. I feel like we're just in that spot right now. And it sucks, but kind of moving to the comment section here. Aiden asked, it's actually pretty funny because I was just talking about Stroman. Cubs might extend Stroman, maybe the Yankees sign him as a free agent. I doubt heavily that Marcus Stroman will ever come back to New York. I do not think he likes the Yankees very much. I don't think he likes New York very much. I think a lot of the disparaging comments he has publicly about New York will kind of drive people away from in that front office from advocating for him. But I don't think that's really going to solve enough for this team. Cole pitched good today. He's going to score enough wins to win the game and beat the struggling Cardinals. Umpires were bad today. Love when Boone sticks with his play and gets his money worth. We got a tough challenge now against the Orioles. Hopefully the Yankees sweep the Orioles and take 2 out of 3. That'd be nice. We sat here and said they should sweep the Athletics. They couldn't. We sat here and said they should take a series against the Cardinals, and they couldn't. Am I going to sit here and expect them to beat the Orioles in a series? Fuck no. This team doesn't deserve that. This team does not deserve that. This team does not deserve those expectations. This team does not deserve to be viewed as the Orioles are a playoff team. The Orioles look like a playoff team. The Orioles look like a very well-rounded roster. I will look at that team and give them the respect they deserve. When people say disparaging things about a good Yankee team, we would be the first people here saying that's bullshit. Like if a report came out last year that, in like June, and not a report, but an article came out or some people were talking shit from like, the Blue Jays side of things. We're like, oh, that Yankees team's not very good. I'd be the second the Yankees beat the drums off of them, man, I'd be talking my shit. I would. I'm not going to sit here and say the Yankees are going to play well against Baltimore. They're not. They're probably not. They're not better than Baltimore. So I don't know. Dylan, I don't know if you got any hope. What you got any hopes for this series, man?
I mean, like you just said, we said they should sweep the A's and they didn't. We said they should at least take 2 out of 3 from St. Louis and they didn't do that either. So, I don't know what to expect more out of this Yankees team. And like you said, I mean, the Orioles are really good this year. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. They're really good. I don't think that what they're doing right now is an accident at this point. I think they're a legitimately good team, poised to make a run to the postseason and be a pretty tough out in the postseason. Do I think they're going to make the World Series or anything? No, I don't think they're at that spot just yet, but I do think this is the start of something very good for Baltimore, and the Yankees need to come in here and kind of show that they're still meant to be, that big scary team in the American League that teams don't want to face, that they're legit as well. The Yankees need to prove that. And they have to win the series. I believe it's a 4-game set against Baltimore. I could be wrong. It's either a 3 or 4 game. But point is, regardless, they need to win the series. They have to. They're back home. They're playing Baltimore. Yes, Baltimore is good, but they can beat Baltimore. They've proven to do that before. They have to do it. They got to do it. You can't do what you just did today against St. Louis and put up duds left and right in each game. You can't do that. You have to play smart baseball. You got to score runs. The Orioles do not have a good starting pitching staff. That is their one big flaw. Take advantage of that and actually get some runs off of that. Yes, the Orioles bullpen is very good. Therefore, you do not want to enter the Orioles bullpen if you're the Yankees trailing or in a tie game. You want to be winning by the time you get to the Orioles bullpen. You want to be winning by the time the starter is out of the game. You know what I mean? So you got to get to that point, and the only way you can do that is if you score runs. You got to score runs. Baltimore has proven to be able to score runs at a pretty good level this season. So the Yankees, they just have to play better baseball. We can say that every single live stream. Oh, they need to play better baseball. This, they need to play better baseball. That. It's just a true statement. Every time we say it, they don't play better baseball. They do for 1 or 2 games, but then go right back to doing what they did before. That's not acceptable. They have to consistently play better baseball for like a long stretch of time, a good weeks, months stretch of time, long time. Yes, I know some teams are going to hit ruts and they're going to end up in slumps. This has been a month-long slump. This has been since Aaron Judge went down, this team is slumping. That's not good. That is a very bad look on not only the organization for the roster they built around Judge, but also just a bad look in general that really you need Aaron Judge to be good. Like that's where we're at. You have to have him, otherwise you're not a good baseball team. That shouldn't be the case, but it unfortunately is right now. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. I'm very, it makes me very unhappy, and I want to see the Yankees succeed. I want to see these guys succeed. I want to get in the postseason. I want to win a World Series this year. But if they're gonna keep playing like this for as long as they've been playing, then you can't expect much. You really can't. So, yes, it may sound like redundant. Oh, this is the series they got turned around because we say it all the time. This is the series they got turned around. This is the series they got turned around. They need to go into the All-Star break on a good note. They have to. Not saying they have to win the next 7 games they play. I would love that. Don't get me wrong. I would love if they win the next 7 games and enter the All-Star break on a winning streak. I don't think that's going to happen. They need to at least get into the All-Star break on a nice 5-2 stretch through these next 7 games or something like that. A good stretch of winning baseball. They have to do it. If they go into the All-Star break on a losing skid or off of a rough homestand, then I'm very concerned about what's going to happen after. At this point, man, the All-Star break can't come soon enough. They're going to need it. They're really going to need it. That's kind of just my thoughts on it. I kind of ranted a little bit, but got to get it out at some point, right? So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you have to play. You have to go on a run here. You had an opportunity today to say you've won 4 straight series. Look, would 4-2 against the Oakland Athletics and St. Louis Cardinals be blow your socks off good? No. But you'd also have an opportunity to go 3 games up in the loss column ahead of the Blue Jays. You're 2 games up in that loss column. 3 games up in the loss column is something, right? I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's something. 3 games could turn to 4. 4 can turn into 5. 5 can turn to 6, and suddenly you're coasting into the postseason. They can't right now. They can't say that they're going to coast into the postseason. They're in a playoff spot, and that's again. I think I've said this is my rule. This is my rule. As long as the Yankees are in a playoff spot, they have hope for the season. As long as they have a playoff spot, they have hope for the season. But the flip side to that is they have the 9th or 10th best World Series odds. They're going to enter the postseason as one of those. They made the postseason, but they're not that good team. They're going to enter the postseason the way you viewed the Mariners last year, or the Blue Jays last year, or Cleveland last year, or the Rays last year, or an NL Central team, right? Now, on the flip side of that, could they enter the postseason and be like the Padres or the Phillies? Maybe. But I'll tell you one thing. The Phillies had a good offense. This team doesn't. I looked at the average WRC plus of World Series winners in the last 10 years. It's 110.5. The Yankees are, I think, at 95 after today's game, or 94. The Yankees are 15% worse. They're well below that mark, and that matters. And I know that doesn't seem like, oh, it's, the Yankees are a worse offense than a World Series team. Yes, but this team is supposed to be competing for a World Series. The expectation is to compete for a World Series. Yeah, we're at 96, not 95, but that's the expectation, to compete for a World Series, and that's not where they're at right now. If you want to go more recent, the last 5 years, it even goes higher. It's 113.2. Good offenses win World Series titles. Really, the only exceptions, that 2021 Braves team, which, if you're going to rely on exceptions, and we're going to rely on exceptions to be the model for success and the model we follow, it's not good enough then. I don't believe in relying on exceptions. I almost burped like something weird. That was weird. That was such an odd sensation. But anyways, I don't believe that that's a formula for success. This team is not a good offense. This team is not built to be a powerhouse offense. Again, I'm using the Braves as the example. You might go, they're the best team in baseball. That's not fair. We have $290 million into this payroll. This team was projected to be up there. The Braves would beat the fuck out of the Yankees. I've said this, some iteration of this, 3 times in the last week. The Braves would beat the ever-loving shit out of the New York Yankees. Beat them like a fucking drum and drag them across the stadium by their fucking neck. And they do not have nearly the payroll the Yankees do. Oh, but they tanked. The Dodgers won 7 straight. I think 8. They won the division 7 straight years, 8 out of 9 years, won a World Series, 3 pennants. They never rebuilt. So I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. You can't sit here and convince me that this is acceptable. And Trevor actually has a comment. 3-3 is unacceptable. Now, I don't know if the Yankees punted today. They didn't really have options. They couldn't really go to Clay Holmes. Couldn't really go to Wandy Peralta. You literally couldn't go to Michael King. Couldn't go to Ian Hamilton. Probably he's coming back from injury. You don't, and I don't think you want to waste him. You would have burned your entire bullpen to lose. The reason that the manager, now I'm saying the manager because Boone and Mendoza were both managing today because Boone got thrown out the game. But the reason that the Yankees don't manage games that they're down 1 or 2 runs in right now with the utmost fervor, with their top guns parading out of the bullpen, is because this offense isn't good enough to do that. This offense isn't going to score enough runs to justify that. And on the off chance that you score enough runs to have a lead, you want to have your bullpen safe. It's unfortunate that we are at the point. Do you know how pathetic your offense has to be? That your manager is basically, through his actions, admitting that you're not good enough to compete in a 2-1 game, to compete in a 3-1 game, to compete in a 4-1 game. That's how bad your offense is. Not against the Rays, not against the Dodgers, not against the Braves, not against the Astros, not against Texas, against the St. Louis fucking Cardinals, against the Oakland fucking Athletics, against 2 teams that's combined win percentage is below 35%. And we just helped both of those teams increase that number. What do you want me to say? Well, it's not acceptable. You can't go into it. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. But Trevor says we should be doing bullpen games. I disagree with that. I think they could have called up Randy Vasquez. I don't even know I think Randy Vasquez might not have been available to pitch. I know Brito you can't because you have to have used a, whatchamacallit. You had to use, someone would have had to gotten hurt for that to happen. I'm going to check with Randy Vasquez's last pitch to see if that was possible. June 25th. They could have pitched him yesterday. I think I would have pitched him yesterday knowing that. I think I would have. But you know who I blame for that? For the whole bullpen situation? Severino should fucking pitch better. He's been horrible. He's been terrible. He's unacceptably bad. Unacceptably bad. This isn't struggling. This isn't working through things. This is being dog shit. This is having bad stuff. This is having poor pitch movement. This is having poor command. This is being a bad pitcher. This is a guy who's not coming back next year. Dylan, I want to present this question because I've been thinking about this. Currently on the roster, how many of these guys do you actively, if you could choose, would you want on this team next year? That you would select to have on this team and their contract for next season?
Just in general, or guys that are free agents?
No, not just free agents. So everyone, it doesn't matter if they're a free agent in 2 years, 3 years. All the guys in this roster, how many guys do you want their contract for next season? Not for the future, just for next season, and want them on this team next year?
Well, there's not many. I can tell you that.
There's
not many. There's there's not many.
Pitching wise is a lot, I think. But
pitching wise. But offensively, there really isn't that much. You obviously have Judge tied to the huge contract, but you're not moving Aaron Judge. So we're just gonna exempt that. But the other guys, Rizzo's on a lucrative, kind of a lucrative contract, not super lucrative, but he's making a decent amount of money, and I think he's all right. But Stanton making a ridiculous amount of money for the production he's giving us right now, so I'm pretty worried about that one. I'm pretty much forget that. That's a terrible contract at this stage. We knew it was going to age poorly, and sure enough, we're witnessing it right now. Josh Donaldson, I don't even need to explain myself with Josh Donaldson. I really don't think I need to explain that. I'm trying to think who else. Glaber, they have to figure out what to do with him. I'm not even so certain about him though either. It's not a yes definite for me with him either. Volpe, you're going to stick with Volpe. He's a rookie. You feel like he has a lot of potential. You feel like he's starting to come into his own. So he's safe. The catcher situation, it's been terrible. So that's another spot that you could look at and be like, yeah, there's nothing set there either. I'm trying to think what else, in the outfield. Harrison Bader possibly could extend him, but again, he has to stay healthy. So I can't sit here and guarantee that he needs to stay either. The left field spot, we literally have not had a consistent left fielder all year. So I can't even explain that one because we don't have a consistent left fielder. We don't, and the guys you have right now, you're not going to keep those guys long term. Let's be honest here. You're not going to have Jake Bowers be your answer in left field for the long run. That's not going to be your answer. Let's just be real for a second here. Same thing with Billy McKinney. And then pitching, Severino. At this point, I am not bringing Severino back. I'm not. If he's going to keep pitching like this, and if he's only going to pitch good out of the bullpen, I'm not bringing him back. That's pointless. You're going to shell out a lot of money for that because his market's going to be a little high. He's going to want some money. He's going to want to get paid again. There's going to be a team out there that's going to want to pay him. The Yankees better not be one of those teams, though, if he's going to keep pitching like this. The Yankees can't afford to just shell out a massive extension to Sevy if he's pitching this bad. You can't do it. Nestor, we're still trying to figure out if last season was a fluke or not. I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher, but, he wasn't that good this year, and then now he's hurt. So that's another question mark. In the fifth spot in the rotation is completely undecided. Schmidt and Herman are there right now. One of those guys might get moved at the deadline for all we know, because we all know both those guys can't stay in the rotation all season long. So yeah, there's a lot of question marks amongst all these contracts and the players we currently have on the roster. The only ones that are like safe completely is like Judge and Cole, and like probably some guys, maybe like Clay Holmes if you really feel like it, but like not many is the point. And Rodon too, of course. Rodon's a high level pitcher. I think he'll be fine. Yes, I know he was hurt, but I think he'll be fine. Those guys are like the safe ones. Rizzo's probably a little safe too. The rest of the guys though, I forget it. They're not safe. They're not safe. That's at least how I view it. There is not many guys that are safe on this roster right now. You have I literally named like 4 guys that I said are probably safe. Judge and Cole being definitely safe. So, I mean, what else can I say? It's a bad roster construction situation. Horrible roster construction situation. If I'm able to sit here right now and say I don't want basically 95% of my team back.
Yeah, it's pathetic. Like if I looked at the offense, like just I'm going down just a position player group right now. Torres, do I desperately want him back next year? I'm not necessarily on I need Gleyber Torres back next year. He's got a 106.
I wouldn't mind if he stayed, but it's also not like an absolute must do. Like Aaron Judge bringing back was a must do. That's not right. I'm not saying the same for Gleyber Torres.
Could you could you have an opportunity? Maybe could you get better at second base? I think it could. The dude, he's been a bad defender. He's been a bad base runner.
And it's not like he's a solid hitter, but it's not like mind blowing.
He's a solid player. He's not the problem with the Yankees.
He's far from the issue. The issue is a team centric thing. But we'd be lying if we said he wasn't a smidge part of the problem. Just saying, because the defense and the base running, things like that. It's the small things. You can look at his stats on paper and go, oh, he's been all right. He's been decent. And yeah, maybe he has been all right hitting, but everything else you consider it too. And it's like, do you really want to keep this guy long term and pay him a lot of money? Because if you give him a lot of money, then then it won't pan out. I mean, I forgot to even mention DJ LeMahieu too. He's hitting under 230 now. Yeah. Like, even that's a guy I'm like, yeah, I don't want back. And we were stuck with him pretty much because we signed to a big contract. So, I didn't even mention him. And yeah. That should just tell you how much the roster construction issue really is. That I'm able to sit here, name a bunch of guys I say I don't want back, and forget about somebody that I should have named. That's how many there are. Like,
yeah. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, I'm looking at this. I think it's really I think Volpe is the only guy like you would look at, say you're getting surplus value. Not surplus value, because Jake Bauers are getting surplus value out of that. Even Billy McKinney, because I know he's been bad lately. So like I'm expecting that Billy McKinney just is not as good as he was in the beginning, which is fine. I mean, I'm not really too.
I mean, that was expected. We all knew he was going to level off.
Right. He had like a one. He was Jesus Christ for 2 weeks.
He wasn't good. He wasn't going to do what he was doing all season.
He was a literal higher. He was a higher deity. It's crazy. But
it was like a 1 week version of the Matt Carpenter we had last year.
It was a 1 week version of like 2023 2022. I mean, just Aaron Judge in 2023 was pretty good too. So I'm just gonna say Aaron Judge, just the Aaron Judge experience.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If you missed last season, just watch 1 week of Billy McKinney highlights.
Yeah, I was at the stadium when he hit like an absolute nuke off of Luis Castillo. I was like, yeah, okay, this is a guy. But like end of the day, like, dude, it's really just Volpe. I think like that's the only guy that you're like, if you had like a yes or no, if every single player hit free, like you could like, let's say they all had like player options or not player option, club options. He's like the only player that you'd pick it up and say, yeah, I want this guy not just next year, but like for a very long time. And that's concerning.
I feel like with Aaron Judge, I feel like Aaron
Judge
Judge
isn't
is
here.
Stick around as well.
Oh no, Aaron Judge. I mean, he's not. I'm looking at the active roster. I didn't count.
I get what you mean. Yeah. Like,
Judge is obviously.
Obviously, your Judges and your Coles are safe.
Yeah, Judge. I'm looking at just the position players, not even the pitching.
I just had to make it clear because I don't
Yeah.
want people to think you're like saying only Volpe and that means Judge can go. No.
Yeah,
we're not saying
no.
that,
Like
'cause,
on the pitching and including on the pitching side of the ball, like I'd say half the bullpen. Not even half. I'd say like almost everyone. I'd be cool with having back. I love
a
everyone.
larger portion of the bullpen because the bullpen's really good. So
Dude,
yeah, of course.
somehow
That's why I didn't mention the bullpen a whole lot because
yeah,
I know
bullpen's dope.
I know I was like I maybe like Clay Holmes, but like I'd be cool if they kept like Holmes, King, Peralta. I don't know if Peralta's coming
Jimmy
back,
Cordero might be your
though.
worst reliever, and his ERA is like 3.6, and he's been pretty
Yeah.
like today. Like he was bad today, but for the most part in the season, he's been like solid, and you got him off the streets. So
yeah,
like
guys
I'm
that,
cool with him.
and I can't forget about like
Cordero.
there's guys that are hurt too that you gotta wonder about too, like Loizaga, if you want to keep him long term or not. I don't know. I honestly don't know because I feel like with the injury situation, things have changed a little bit, and we have some other guys in the bullpen we feel like we could turn into some nice weapons. Not saying we don't miss these guys, though. We definitely do, but, that's just some food for thought. I'm not really drawing a conclusion here with that one. But, yeah, basically just, your Judge and your Cole, they're safe. They're not going anywhere. But then everyone else, you kind of got to look at and just be like,
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
And like Volpe too. Like I agree with you. You probably want to keep Volpe for the long run. With how much potential he has and what he's shown to be able to do. And all that stuff. So yeah, of course. But then everyone else, like I said, you're kind of just like,
yeah. And
not like some are more safer than others, but not necessarily 100%. Like yes, definitely keep that guy.
Yeah, no,
that's the way I see it.
I don't know. Like I really don't understand, man. I don't like the Yankees. They retooled in 2017, 2016, excuse me. They were supposed to put together a really good core. One of those players will be a extremely long-term piece. You know what? No, two. Glaber's been here. Glaber, even if he doesn't play the next year, he was here for 6 years. Like that's long-term. 6 years is a very long time. And Severino too. So I'm gonna no. You know what? Let me recalibrate what I just said because that was a lot of horse shit that just came out of my mouth. They didn't have enough of those guys become long-term pieces. The Braves have a lot of long-term pieces, and they let go of 2 franchise icons, and they still have a lot of long-term pieces. Swanson and Freeman both left, and they still have multiple long-term pieces. The Yankees have none. They have not none, but they have like Judge and that's it. Like everyone, like
the Braves are kind of showing everybody how to run an organization. I'm just
and
I know they only have 1 World Series ring in the past few years, but at least they have 1. It's more than us, like you just said. And 2, they're if anything, they look poised to keep making a run every single year for like the next decade. So
right, and just looking at win percentages since 2017, like I had it for a second. Win. You're gonna have to hear me type it. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, because I had it and I lost it. I think I like accidentally clicked out of it. What? No. Team win loss. It gave me all of the wins and losses for Major League. No, I don't want the National League win total. I know it's. What are they talking about?
What are you looking at on?
StatMuse. StatMuse is like there we go.
You have to,
all right.
You had to be like very specific on StatMuse. You got to be like extremely specific.
The Yankees. If you look since 2017, I mean the win-loss percentage is impeccable, right? They're third, but once you cut off 17 and 18, you go since 2019. They fall from third and clear cut third to fifth, which isn't bad. But they're not even first in their division.
I'll assume Tampa Bay or something is
ahead of them. The Rays. Yeah. You know what's crazy? I found this out today. There's a bigger gap between the Yankees and the Dodgers in win percentage since 2019 than the Yankees and the Giants. The Giants have made the postseason once in that time span.
And it was the year they won 106 games. But
right. And it's just, hey, man, I'm not saying the Yankees have been poorly run. I don't think the Yankees are not poorly run. I'm not crazy. Season's not over. I'm not falling, skies isn't falling on the Yankees or anything like that. But shit, did we not expect to be that level? We expect to be there. That's what we expect it to be, right? The Astros have 2 World Series titles since 2017, and they have multiple pennants. 2020, we had 21, 19, 17, 22. That's their pennants. They have 4 pennants and 2 World Series titles. Dodgers have 3 pennants and a World Series title. Braves have a pennant and a World Series title. Rays have a pennant. Yeah, and they won the division. They're going to win the division this year. They're going to win it 3 out of the last 4 years. What do we really? We have 2 division titles, and that's our claim to fame. That's what we've accomplished with this core. 2 division titles and 2 ALCS runs. 3 ALCS runs. One of them, the Yankees got fucking curb stomped. They didn't get beat. They got curb stomped. The other one, the 2019 one, it ended in 6 games, but the series felt like it was over after game 4. 2017 was the last time they were close. 2019, they got outclassed. 2022, they got fucking demolished. When are we going to be the class of the American League? When are we going to be that elite organization that everyone points to as a model of success? Because that's not where we're at where we're at right now. Yo, Austin Wells is still in fucking AA. Am I stupid? Like, I can't be. I'm not stupid. I know I'm not stupid. I'm a lot of. Actually, you know what? I am kind of stupid, but I'm a lot of things. This is fucking child play. This is a 5-year-old is figuring this out. Why is he still there? Shit, man, this team's old. I don't give a shit about half these guys. Do I need to see DJ LeMahieu every day? Do I need to see Josh Donaldson every day? Do I need to see either of those 2 guys? No. Do I need to see Oswaldo Cabrera get every day at bats or play off the bench? No, I don't care. Do I need to see, like, no disrespect to Kyle Gashioka, but do you need 2 guys who are right-handed catchers who both can't hit? Do you need 2 right-handed catchers who can't hit? I feel like that's redundant. Figure out which one your pitching staff likes more. Get rid of one of them. Let Wells be the backup. I don't see like, or let Wells play. Just fuck, man. I can't. What am I getting at here? Where are we getting at here, man? What is the progression? Like, when the Yankees season ends today, what did you learn about this season that you didn't know about this team last year? What was the direction the organization took? Where was the improvement the organization made upon last season? In what regard? What steps forward did they take? They've only taken steps back. They make worse decisions. They clearly don't know how to evaluate an offense. They're losing more games. They took a step back defensively. They're a horrible base running team. Their hitting coach is taking a step back. They're a worse organization than they were last year. Fuck, man. What do you want me to say? Like, what do you want us to say, man? Last year, they did a million things well. Yes, they lost in the postseason, but they did a lot of things really well that led you to believe that this year they would incorporate the youth, make a couple of key additions, and then run it back. That's what it felt like this year was supposed to be. This was supposed to be the year where you improve upon last year. The breakthroughs you had last year. The breakthroughs in the farm system. Volpe and Peraza being major league ready. Cabrera breaking out.
Harrison Bader being a playoff performer.
Right, him being here for a full season. Having Glaber, he came back last year. You felt like you were going to move on at third base. Finally having a shortstop that's a shortstop. Finally having
you were going to get a left fielder. You thought
right.
you were going to get a left fielder.
Having a good left-handed hitter in Rizzo. These were steps forward. LeMahieu coming back.
You didn't think Stanton was going to take this far of a step back either.
Right, having a good catching tandem, having an all-star catcher. You're walking into this year and you're like, all right, you did a million things well last year. How many guys in that farm system? Your farm was so good you were able to trade out of it. And you're like, all right, you know what? Montas was hurt last year, but we have him for this year. Dude has fucking shoulder surgery. You're like, hey, Luis Severino comes back, pitches a year, not a full season, but you hope he builds off of that. He's horrible. Cortez breaks out all-star year. Bad and hurt.
Rodon hasn't thrown a pitch this year.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we took steps back. You're supposed to be going forward. We fucking took steps back. I'm not even just saying a win-loss record. Yeah, not every year you're going to win more games than you did the year before. That's how baseball works. But it feels like as an organization, process-wise, decision-making, they're taking steps back. Fuck, man. They feel stupider than they were last year.
And they're dropping games that they would have won last year. That's the important thing, I think, to note.
Yeah,
I think last year's Yankee team probably takes 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. I don't know if they'll sweep.
They got swept, but that team was good last year.
Well, okay, but that happens.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals were good last year. That's
but you get the point. You get the point. Like, this Cardinals team and last year's Yankees team, and these two face off. Yankees probably win that series. The Yankees would demolish the Oakland A's. They would not lose a game to the Oakland A's. They demolished them in the next 2 games, but they wouldn't even have dropped one at all. They wouldn't even have come close to dropping one. It's disappointing. The White Sox series, we wouldn't have lost 2 out of 3 to this year's White Sox team. We wouldn't have gotten swept by the Boston Red Sox, who were in last place. You know, I can think of many more things. This is just in the past month. It's been, and it's not like this is like only since Judge went down, things went south. No, they started off bad the year too, even when Judge was healthy. What were they, like 15-15 at one point in the season? And then Harrison Bader came back and things finally turned up a little bit. Yes, a lot of it is accounted to Judge missing time, but you also can't expect to, you know, you should be able to win more games even with just one guy missing. One guy shouldn't make this much of a difference. I'm sorry, it should not. Like, yes, I understand Aaron Judge is a superstar, top 5 player in baseball, no doubt, 1 or 2 pretty much at this stage. I understand that. Doesn't matter. If you're a good team, you would have the supporting pieces around him to continue to at least stay afloat. Right now, they're free falling. Like, yes, it's not like they're losing every single game, but if the offense continues to play like this, they are going to drop so far down. And by the time Judge gets back, they're going to have a serious uphill battle to climb to get back into the postseason. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to have to do that. You want to be able to get into the postseason comfortably. And right now, it's looking like it's going to be far from that. So, yeah. I mean, we've been ranting a lot this stream, but I mean, it's just getting ridiculous, man. We thought maybe with that Oakland series, things were going to finally change. When the perfect game happened, things would finally change, like flipping a switch. No, they're going right back to what they were doing before. And a fun fact, too, they were 3-3 on this road trip, right? And I just thought of this. In all 3 games they lost, okay, 2 of the 3 games they lost, they scored just 1 run. They scored 4 runs in game 1 yesterday, but they only had 1 throughout most of the game. So those other 3 runs are pretty irrelevant. But that just shows you the offense is the main problem. Yes, in game 1 yesterday, they lost 11-4. Yeah, sometimes you'll have a bad pitching performance. But if the offense is going to continue to put up 1 run, 2 runs, or 4 runs, or whatever, if that's going to be consistent, like if it's going to be consistently that low, you're not winning many baseball games, man. You're not. It's simple as that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I just we're in a shitty spot, man. It's not even shitty. It's just we took a step back from last year, and that's the issue. Like, you can't, you can lose more games than you did last year. That's fine. That happens. It's fucking baseball. I get it. You can't. Shit happens. Like, Judge, the second Judge hits the IL, you expect to lose more games than you did last year. I understand that. That's cool. That's not cool, but you get it, right? Like, from a baseball standpoint, you can explain that away. But man, dude, their starting rotation is middle of the pack. It was one of the best in baseball last year. Your lineup sucks. Your lineup was good last year. You took steps back. It's a step forward, step back situation. 2019, you win the division. You're like, all right, you sign Garrett Cole. You're riding high. You're ready to enter 2020. You get fucking dog walked by the Rays. And you're like, all right, well, COVID year. We've added some pitching. Get a couple guys back healthy. And try to run it back. 2020, get dog walked by the Red Sox. You're like, all right, we're going to revamp the offense. You take a huge step. I thought they took a massive step forward in player evaluation, scouting, all those things between 2021 and 2022. They've taken a step back from 2022 to 2023. 2017, huge step forward. 2018, you're like, step back, but you know what? It's fine. It was.
In 2018, you added Stanton, so on the surface it seemed good, but
right.
it didn't make a massive difference. But
I'm
you
not
felt
gonna...
like you felt like that was the start of hopefully something bigger. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, though.
Right. I feel like I'm more mad about 2018 in hindsight because we haven't won a World Series. I feel like I'd be less mad if we have. I don't really care that much about... Not that I didn't care about that much about 2018 at the time, but I didn't feel like that was like a doomsday, this team can't get it done situation.
No,
it just felt
no,
like...
because you were definitely able to improve off that. They didn't take the right steps, though. They didn't take the right steps, and at times things looked bright because they were turning these, smaller name guys, these non-household names, into pretty decent players like Luke Voigt, Gio Urshela, guys like that, turning them into very solid players. Didi Gregorius as well, turning them into very, very solid baseball players. The Yankees have been pretty good at doing that, in their history, and they did that again after 2018, 2019, 2020. They were doing all that stuff. They've taken a step back now. You don't have that same energy. They're not turning Willie Calhoun into an amazing player. He's just an player. Jake Bauers, same thing, not an amazing player, just a serviceable player. Not like trying to diss these guys. I'm just saying there is a difference. They're not like turning these guys massively. They're not making them like super good, and not even just that, but they're not adding the established talent they need to do, which is what they should have done in the offseason this past season. They probably should have done that after 2020. They didn't really do it, so. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of at this trend now where we're kind of just like, let's just add a couple of these small minor league guys, and that hopefully these guys just run it back and play a step ahead of themselves the following season. No, you have to make your team better than the Astros and the Rays and all that. Like, I want to ask this too, like since that 2017 team where we lost to the Astros in 7, was there ever a point in time where you felt like you were better than the Astros? Was there ever a point in time?
2018, but then he got dog wiped by the Red Sox.
I mean,
2020, they got dog walked by the Rays.
Yeah.
2020
I mean,
not
like,
even
even if you felt like they were better than them then, you got
dog
walked
walked.
off by a different team. So
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is, was there ever a point where you felt like the Yankees were the best team in the American League? If people might say maybe last year, but even then I feel like there was still some skepticism about being better than Houston. So
it didn't matter because we got smoked.
it didn't matter because, I mean, they kind of proved our point that we weren't better than Houston because they absolutely thrashed us. 4-0. Didn't even win a game. So
yeah.
I mean, that just shows that they're not adding they're not doing the right things. They're not adding the right pieces. They got Joey. 2021 looked like things maybe were finally changing. They were aggressive a little bit, getting Rizzo, getting at the time Joey Gallo, who was decent at the time, and then Gallo just fell off an absolute cliff when he came here. Rizzo's been cool and all, but I don't think it's necessarily been like needle threading, and it isn't like a massive change. It's just like a good thing, but it's not like oh my god, now your team is so much better now that you added Anthony Rizzo. So
Yeah,
the moves we thought would work are not working. The Montas move looked like that was going to be the solid backup move because we missed out on Castillo. Hasn't worked, and now he's hurt. I don't even know if he'll come back. So, I could go and sit here on and on about how much we haven't been adding, or how much we haven't really made the moves to become the best team in the American League. But
where are the steps for that? Like, yeah. I just like my because like I want to make it clear, like the Yankees season is a disaster until they lose in the postseason. If they lose in the postseason, this season isn't a failure until the postseason concludes for the New York Yankees, whether that means a World Series title or a first round exit, a second round, whatever, however the fuck it happens.
Or if they miss
it altogether entirely. When the Yankees season ends, whether that
once we see the graphics on social media that say New York Yankees eliminated from
or
playoff
World Series
or from playoffs, whatever, then until we see that, the season ain't over. But you can get mad about about the performance in the regular season. Still, you could still get mad about that because, like, at the end of the day, like you mentioned it yesterday, the regular season matters still. It's not, we don't play the regular season for no reason. It does matter. It affects seeding, it affects your playoff matchups, it affects your odds, affects your home field advantage, all this stuff. Even mentally, confidence wise, being the best team in the American League, you can go in there feeling confident, be like, yeah, we've beaten all these guys in the regular season. We can go in and steamroll these guys in the playoffs and get to the World Series and all that stuff. If you're a third wildcard team, that battle is going to be tough. It is. You already know it. You're facing a very uphill battle, a very tough climb. You're facing super tough opponents, all this stuff. So, I'm not saying, I want to reiterate too, I'm not saying like, making the postseason, if you're, say, the 1 seed versus the third wild card, that you're not facing tough opponents. Yeah, if you're a playoff team, you're a good team. Simple as that. But, I think you and I can both agree the route that you take in the playoffs does mean something depending on where you finish in regular season. You can end up with the easier route, you finish higher to get to the World Series. If you finish lower, it's going to be harder. Then that sounds basic, but it's just true. Just trying to put it in perspective, I guess, because obviously that sounds like common sense, and yes, it is. But just think of it that way. It's like why the regular season still matters. Why you can't just push over the regular season and be like, oh, it's okay, it's no big deal. We can finish 81 and whatever. In my eyes, yes, I said, make the postseason and you're fine. But that doesn't mean if you make the postseason third wildcard team, that's gonna be easy. Because you could easily just get your season ended right there by a tougher team that you're going to face, and you won't even be the home field. So, it matters. It matters. It's small things, but they matter.
Yeah, and I'm gonna shift us back to the comments because I realize we've been going on a little bit of tangent here. But
Well,
I
yeah,
thought
well,
it was,
reasonably
I thought it
so,
was
man.
well.
This
Yeah,
team's been frustrating. So
I thought at some point it was gonna get to that, so I figured.
yeah, no,
Yeah, at
let's
some
let's
point it's
get
gonna get to that.
let's
No, I
move
said at some
faster
point it
through
was
some
gonna get
com-
into a rant, or into a rant because it's been bad. It's been
Yeah,
rough lately.
yeah.
LA
Let's try
Yankee
to move a little
says,
faster through comments so that we
"Why are the
can
Yankees
get
connecting?
to many.
Why are Yankee fans connecting Arenado to the Yankees? We do not need to add to the infield to bring a Peraza to play third base because the Yankees." I if the Yankees were given the opportunity to acquire Nolan Arenado and they said no because of Oswald Peraza, I'd lose my shit.
Oh, that'd be a huge
Let's.
problem.
I mean, I'm not gonna get upset about a hypothetical because I'm sure that's not what this is. Like I'm guaranteeing you that the Cardinals aren't like, hey, do you want Nolan Arenado? And the Yankees like, no, we don't want him. No, you keep him. But if this again, it depends on July, of course. If the Yankees play well in July, they absolutely cannot make Oswald Peraza their deadline acquisition. That cannot be the case. They would have if they need a third baseman, Heimer Candelario is right there. I think they could get creative here with Peraza if they feel like Peraza, because I don't think Peraza has a lot of value as a third baseman to the organization because he'd have to be such a good defensive third baseman and then become an amazing hitter. And I don't think he's amazing. I think he's a solid hitter. I think he's like a 105 WRC plus hitter. Is that changing the course of the Yankee season? Fuck no. They do not need another defense first player on top of, a Volpe who's still developing, a defense first center fielder, a defense first catcher, a second base situation's not great. It's like a 106 to 110 WRC plus. Left field doesn't exist. And Stanton hasn't hit yet. So, no, that's not the right move. The Peraza, he's either got to be the shortstop of this team, in my opinion, or they should flip him and they should make him, they should move him in a deal that would get them a young talent. I don't want to move for rental. Honestly, you have to, I think you could look at teams externally that could use shortstops and, the Dodgers could always use, they Dodgers do not have a shortstop, and try to get value for that back. It seems like it's not going to be the fit you're looking for, unfortunately, but yeah. The Yankees need to make a panic trade, do something. You see, the Chapman trade would make you think someone's available, but I don't see, I think the Royals are just so laughably bad that they just took the first off, not the first offer, they took a pretty good offer from the Rangers. The Rangers made an aggressive offer. The Nationals are going to wait on Heimer Candelario. The White Sox are going to wait on Lucas Giolito. They want bidders. And you're not going to get a lot of bidding until after the MLB draft. That's typically how that goes. I think you can kind of agree with me here. Why would a team just say, fuck it, first off from the Yankees, we'll take it?
You and I mentioned this in our Fireside Knicks stuff, which if you guys are Knicks fans, you should definitely check out. But anyways, I'm not trying to plug that, but anyway, you don't want to make a move just to make a move. You don't want to do that. Like you said, it may think certain people are available, but it doesn't necessarily mean they are. And like I just said again, I want to reiterate that you do not want to make a move just to simply make a move. You got to make the right moves. You got to do the right things. You got to make, the moves that fit best. You got to make, smart moves. You can't make the wrong moves. You got to do the right things. You got to do it correctly. So simple as that.
Yeah. And yeah, it's the right, if you don't make the right move, man, it's all for naught. You can get named, but you got to make sure it actually works out. You have to. So yeah. I don't know why I turned off my mic. I was trying to move on to another comment. I think he's one of the worst starting catchers in the league. Okay, so I think we kind of hinted at this a little bit, or I kind of hinted at this. But I think that we have to have a conversation about whether, again, Higashioka and Tribunal, not that Higashioka is a bad defender. I think Higashioka is a really good defensive catcher, but does it make any sense for these two to exist on the same roster on a team that can't hit? Neither of these guys are good hitters. Both of these guys suck at hitting. I think it's awesome that Kyle Higashioka has caught a perfect game with no hitter. I really like Kyle Higashioka, and I really like Jose Trevino. I like both of these guys. For what they're supposed to be doing, they do a pretty good job at it. They're great defensive players. They work their tail off. They prepare their ass off. They are very good at what they do. But do both of them need to exist on the same team? Probably not. They probably have very similar value to each other, very similar ball players. I don't really think they need to exist together. Dylan, do you disagree with me? I feel do they need to exist together? I don't think
no,
so.
they don't. They don't. And our catching situation has been just bad. Yes, Trevino's an amazing defender. I love him, but Is his bat being that quiet worth it all the time? That's something you got to think about. And is that necessarily Trevino's fault? No, but at the same time, when you have a catching prospect in Austin Wells that can hit, it's something that's like, maybe you need to find an offensive catcher that can at least get you some base hits here and there and driving some runs. Do something serviceable. I mean, both our catchers are hitting like 220 and have barely driven in runs. I think they have like 6 home runs combined or something like that. You know, uh, that's not good. And I understand it's hard to make a catching change midseason because pitchers work with catchers and they adapt to what they do. The whole battery stuff. I understand that. I fully understand that. But, maybe Trevino and Higgy are not exactly your 1-2 punch behind the plate that you're like dream 1-2 punch, I should say, that you really want. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I'm at on it. It's not ideal at all, really. It's not.
Yeah, and again, we understand and respect that catchers are a very important part of the team and their influence on pitchers, but does he need to exist right now? Like trade deadline type. Does he have to there's another team that probably needs Higashioka more than we do. Do they make sense to exist together? No. That's my opinion on it. I don't think they make any sense together.
They don't. They don't. And like I said, it's not exactly your dream 1-2 punch. It's just like because realistically speaking, they're 2 backup catchers. Trevino was originally brought here to be a backup. And Trevino was a career backup in Texas. Not saying that Trevino didn't make the step forward to being the All-Star last year. No, he did, but he's taken the step right back to what he was before that, unfortunately. So it makes his All-Star appearance last year look a little fluky. And I hate that I have to get to that point because I love Jose Trevino. I love his defense. I love what he does behind the plate. I love all that stuff. It's just hitting and stuff like. We badly need offense right now, and when your catcher spot is basically an automatic out, almost like a pitcher hitting, that's bad. Like you essentially have 2 backup catchers being your 1-2 punch, and yeah, so
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that they have to make a catching change. I think they're catching not, and it's unfortunate because on a team where the offense, like last year's team, this doesn't matter, but this year's team it does. It's because
no.
and the difference is too. I think offense at the catching position is a privilege. But
And,
your
and
top,
I
one of your
want
top
to use an
prospects is a
example
fucking
too.
catcher.
I want to have an example too. Like look at the Houston Astros. They always had Martin Maldonado behind the plate, who was constantly hitting 180 every single year. They were able to get away with it because the guys around them could hit. That whole cheating stuff, yeah, whatever. But past the cheating stuff, they were still able to hit with Maldonado behind the plate. And you can get away with having a guy hitting like 180 or something like that if his defense is good, if he makes the pitching staff look good, all that stuff. If he's able to do all that stuff, you can afford to have the not so good hitting, as long as A, like I said, that you work with the pitchers well, and then that B, the guys around the catcher can hit. Right now, nobody on the Yankees can hit, so that's why it's a problem. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, I can't. Uh, it sucks because like I don't want to make it seem like I'm blaming Higashioka or Trevino. It's neither of their faults. Yes, they're part of the bad offense, but the issue is that the issue is that the team as a whole is not built to sustain 2 defense first catchers. That's on the Yankees. It's the Yankees' fault. It's not their fault. These are these 2 guys belong in the big leagues.
And they're both great. They're both great guys, and
every pitcher on the team will tell you that too.
Yeah, and exactly what you just said. Every pitcher will tell you they love Trevino and they love Higgy, and they're great people. They work well with them and all that stuff. And clearly, it does work into some degree because our pitching has been phenomenal, but the offense is just that bad that it might be time to think about it. So, yeah.
And I'm just that's where I'm at right now. It's really it.
It's a bit of a harsh reality, but it's true.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think anyone's really blaming either of these guys, but
no, I'm not sitting here and saying that we suck right now because Jose Trevino is hitting below 220. No, I'm not sitting here saying that. It just the rest of the offense has been bad, and it just so happens that he has been a part of that collective group that's been doing that, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's just what it is. Trade for Monty, fuck it. I don't think they'll be trading for Jordan Montgomery. I like Jordan Montgomery, but I don't think you need a guy who's going to start game 3 for you in the postseason. I don't think it's Jordan Montgomery.
You're asking for an awkward reunion as well.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird. He also I think Monty's solid, but is Monty starting game 3 of the postseason for the Yankees? I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know if I'm at that point of desperation yet for starting pitching. I'm at the point where like Blake Snell is, I think Blake Snell is really fucking good. So I would want Blake Snell, but yeah, like I'm not there with Monty yet. Monty doesn't have the elite strikeout stuff. I need to see that for a longer.
Montgomery is just a solid pitcher.
Yeah, he's solid. He's good, but
there's nothing eye popping about Montgomery. He's a solid pitcher.
I think I'm for. Would you like if someone said, "All right, would you rather have Jordan Montgomery or nobody?" I'd rather have Jordan Montgomery at the deadline than.
Well, of course,
but he's not my number one guy. I don't even know if he's my number two guy. Now, I guess the question would be: is he better than Lucas Giolito? Right? Like, is he better than Luke? Maybe. I think he might be.
He could be
on a stuff basis, not really, but like on a performance basis, yeah. Like, I guess that's a fit. Now that I say that, it's a pretty it's like who are the best starters? It's like Blake Snell. And then, like Lucas Giolito. Is Jordan Montgomery better than Lucas Giolito? Maybe. So, actually, you know what? I'll eat my words there. Yeah. Starting pitching is very good.
If they were to bring back Montgomery, that'd be like, whatever, cool and all. But at the same time, like I just said, he probably won't pitch much in the postseason. And two, it'd be a weird reunion. They traded him out of nowhere at the end of the deadline last year, shocked the teammates, rattled the team apart. Bringing him back would kind of just be like, not that they get, of course the team would probably be like, oh yeah, cool, he's back. But at the same time, organizationally, just looking at it, just be like, it's kind of weird. They traded him away and then they brought him right back the next year. Making an awkward reunion. So like, certain things you don't want to kind of touch with. It's a little, on a personal standpoint, but maybe I'm crazy for thinking it. But
no, I mean, I just think that we might just be saying this. I'm saying this just because of the fact that the starting pitching market sucks. The market as a whole is dog shit. This deadline is horse crap, dog shit, terrible. I hate to be insulting here, but it's just not good. Actually, do I hate to be insulting? Not really. I really don't care. I'm not like torn up about being insulting. It's not like I'm like, oh, I'm insulting the guys in the trade deadline. But like, these are professional athletes. I fuck with them. No disrespect to Lucas Giolito, Jordan Montgomery. If they were both on the Yankees, like, I'd be like, fuck yeah, all right, cool. Like if the Yankees would have signed one of those guys in the offseason like a cheaper deal, like shit, yeah, sure. Then fuck it, why not? They're like young guys, like they're not old. Like Lucas Giolito's 28, Monty's 29. Like I liked Monty was here. I loved Monty when he was here. I love some Jormont, but they traded him for a reason, I think. Not because they don't like him, but because they're like, I don't think you're starting a playoff game for us.
They don't view him as a long-term valuable asset.
Right. And it's hard for me to be for a command first guy and not a stuff first guy. That's where I'm at. Like I'm always a stuff first guy.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. So I totally get it.
Moving on a little bit here. How did Sevy go from good to bad? I have no idea. I think it's just injuries are catching up to him. I think injuries are catching up to him. I really do. I think you can only go through so many strains, tears.
Went through Tommy John.
Right. It feels like he could be pitching through something. Maybe he still hasn't gotten the feel back, but I don't want him back next year. Sorry.
I'm right. I second everything you said. I don't even really have much else to say about it. I second everything. He might be hurt. He might not. Health, I really don't want to start saying he's injured because he has been here for a month now. So at this point, I wonder if he's just like technically healthy, but in the sense that, all the injuries he has been, he's had so many injuries the past few years that his effectiveness has just dropped dramatically. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I don't. You could look good in your first start or two back, but then once you get settled in, you start to drop off a little bit, and that might end up being the new you. And that unfortunately might be happening to Luis Severino. I really hope not. I hope, he can figure it out, but I'm very concerned, and I'm pretty much right where I'm at with you, that I don't really want him back if he's going to keep pitching this way. I don't. There's no point. You're not going to bring back a guy who's struggling and you can't pitch in postseason.
Yeah. So. No, it is what it is. And he's hurt a lot. That's kind of the big thing there too. Billy McKinney, Insanity runs over. I'm devastated. I'm hurt. I'm Billy McKinney's cool, so I'm fucking devastated right now. But Jake Bauers is still very good. So I'm Jake Bauers people, which is like me, and I mean I don't think there's any Jake Bauers haters out there, but OG Jake Bauers people, we're winning. We're winning right now.
Hey man. I watched Jake Bauers as a Tampa Bay Ray hit a walk-off home run off Jason Shreve in 2017.
So you know what? All right, timeout. Pause then. Dylan is the OG Jake Bauers person.
Yes, I watched him hit a walk-off off of Jason Shreve in 2017. I believe it was 2017, but you get the point. That time, I watched him do that. That is OG Jake Bauers, I think. If you watched him as a Tampa Bay Ray back then, you were an OG Jake Bauers fan.
Like, that's a goat right there. Dylan is the OG Jake Bauers guy.
The fact that I remember that is kind of funny, though.
Dude, that's there are so many like blunt rotation relievers between the 2017 to 2023 years.
The ultimate Jason Shreve moment was that.
This is like kind of messed up, but this is also hilarious. So all right. Because I thought this was put in such an interesting way. You know, like you have like there's like dream blunt rotation, there's like starting lineup, whatever it may be, Hall of Fame for that, whatever you want to call it. Who is your all Ocean Gate submarine team for the bullpen from 2017 to 2023? Just the 5 guys you want shot off of the sun. My 5.
My God.
Chasen Shreve is not on my 5. I did not love Chasen Shreve, but I did not hate him either. Number 1 on that list is Brooks Kriske. Brooks Kriske is his first overall pick. If we drafted this team, he's the first pick. You got like Tyler Clippard's on that submarine. Who else is on the Ocean Gate submarine? I don't even know. Shoot. Is there anyone? There's no one. You know what's funny? There's no one from this team that is even remotely on that level. Like of like ever being that bad. Like Albert Abreu was getting there for some fans. Never for me though, because OG Albert Abreu guy. He just throws really hard and I like him. But man, the Yankees have had like they've had some really shitty relievers and it went from shitty to terrible. Elon Musk should be in the sub. Elon Musk keeps randomly locking me out of my Twitter account. I can't fucking tweet about the Yankees because I get locked randomly. Like it's just like randomly they'll flag me as a bot. I don't know if you're getting this glitch. I know some of my friends are getting it. You get like flagged for like autonomous, like having automated responses. Like what? I fucking paint my nails blue and now I'm a bot. Like is there fucking AI in my nail polish? If there is, that'd be sick as shit. Could you imagine?
Maybe Twitter likes me. I mean,
maybe like you more than me.
Maybe they like me. I mean, I've gotten pretty much all my 1,622 followers in the past year and a half. So maybe they like me.
You did it through hard work and determination. I did it through screaming at my phone about Brooks Kriske. I think Twitter would rather have you in the center here. But in all seriousness, like, dude, Twitter's got to fucking chill, man. Like, I want to tweet. I just want to tweet, man. Like, all I want to do.
Ryan Garcia has a Twitter addiction.
Right, I do. Let me feed my like. Elon Musk has the audacity to tweet. Go outside, touch. Fuck you, man. I don't want to touch grass. It's fucking scary out there. It's raining. It's raining cats and dogs in Binghamton. I live in Binghamton. You think I want to go outside here? You think I want to be here? This is my safe space. I'm an introvert. Fuck. I like going to the gym. I like sitting here. That's the 2 things I like doing. I like going to the ballpark and the radio. That's it. I like working. And I like playing Balloon Towers Defense 5 and COD. Okay? Let me do it in peace.
Balloon Tower Defense?
Dude, I'm not joking. I play that shit all the time. You know what? I can play that while doing anything. I'll play that game while writing an article. I love that game. I'm so bad at it.
He's the ultimate multitasker. I couldn't.
I'm so good at it. But only not like news articles. Like I'm talking like I'm writing like a Schmidt article or something like that, and Savant Search is taking forever to load something up. And so I'm like, all right, I gotta like load. You know what? This is taking forever. I have like 5-minute intervals of like loading shit. I'm just gonna play some Balloon Towers Defense, play a couple rounds, and just have it running in my background because it doesn't take a lot of RAM, so I can have it running in my background for like days and just play through a game, and it's fine. But you know, being good at multiple things, something the Yankees cannot do for some reason. This is another thing I thought about this. The Yankees could hit but not pitch from 2017 to 2019. That's what it felt like. And now that they can pitch, they can't hit.
Yeah, they can never do both at the same time on a high level. Only time you thought they could was from the months of April to early July of last season.
I was talking about this with Alex. Do you know how fun that team was? That team ruined me. That team spoiled me. I got one glimpse of what being a Yankee fan in the 90s was like.
Man, the peak of last season was when Aaron Judge hit the walk-off of Ryan Stanek at the Aaron Hicks game. That was
Oh
like
my
the
God,
peak of
yeah.
their season. That was like the peak of their season when
Dude,
when Aaron Hicks the home run off Presley and they came back to win it in the ninth inning. Aaron Judge hits the walk off double off of Stanek, and then we unironically hit rock bottom that same weekend when we got combined no hit by Christian
we followed that
Javier and
up.
company. Yeah. And then they end up winning the next game on a walk-off from Aaron Judge again. That was just like, what is happening? and then no, and then the real rock bottom was the Jeter Downs game from Clay Holmes and then the Verdugo walk-off. And fun fact, that was on my birthday of last year. So that one stung. That one stung. Yeah. I had to watch Clay Holmes meltdown on my birthday last year. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're going through it, bro.
Yeah, the
Nah, you
Yankees
got it.
get
You got it worse than me,
the
bro.
Yankees gave me a very good birthday present. Not.
That sucks, dude. That's horrible. That's
Yeah,
terrible. That's
had
bad.
to watch that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was not a fun time. And then like you read the stats like, oh, from this day to this day they were this record, and then since this day they're this record, and it would be like, oh, that was when my birthday was. Great. So I'm the bad luck charm.
If it makes you feel any better, the real reason they got worse is because I started dating someone. The Yankees are actually
Oh my god.
the Yankees actually like, so let's play. Actually, I wanted to unveil this stat for all of you guys. So whenever I'm in like in a relationship, the Yankees are really bad. Last year I started dating someone on June 20th. They went 46 and 45 after that point. I think you can actually search that up. Yeah, Yankees record from June 20th 2022 to let's say just December 20th, because that's you know what I mean. Like, there are no games, regular season games. Yeah. They were 50 and 46. In 2021, after I got dumped, they were so July 20th, 11th, 2021. Let's just go July 11th. So I got dumped on July 11th, 2021. Then I entered another relationship a year later. So between that time span, June 19th, 2022, Yankees record.
You know what though? The Yankees do play on my birthday this year. They play the Cubs. It's next week. So
oh shit.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Next week.
Well, yeah, let's see how this goes.
What is today? Today's the second.
Second, yeah. So when's it again?
The 9th. The 9th.
Okay, yeah. So 1 week.
So one o'clock game on Sunday, and so I'm gonna find out early if they break my heart on my birthday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out early. Last year was a night. Last year was a night game. This time they have a day game. So
yeah, and so I found the number. Actually, the Yankees were 95 and 45 in the time span. I'll say 95 and 45.
Jeez,
Jesus Christ. Fuck.
That's
and
insane.
as Dylan, and the up and down nature of the New York Yankees, Dylan, I think you would understand the season, why the Yankees have been up and down this season now. Why it's been highs and lows. Because let's just say it's been a lot of highs and lows for the Ryan Garcia market. The Ryan Garcia market is it's not you, it's the Yankees. I'm using this one. I'm being so serious. I'm using this one. I'll use this eventually. Like, no joke. If I enter a relationship with someone and like 5 months into it, the Yankees, like, let's say it's enter one in April and 5 months into it, like the Yankees are like selling at the deadline or already sold. It would be September. The Yankees are like sold at the deadline. They had a disaster season. Fuck, man. I think I got to bring it up at some point. I started working. So I work for the Binghamton Roll Ponies now. The Mets are having like a disaster season for their payroll. I'm going to go work for like the Rays or some shit. I think take one for the team, go work for the Rays minor league team, destroy the organization. Just go there, curse the organization forever. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Because like the Mets, they're kind of cursed anyway, so we can't really test this without. I'd have to go to a really good team to like test the theory. I think we got to test it, man. I think we got to test it. I got to go work for. Stay single. Just be banned from talking to people. A self-isolation. Go work for the Rays. Win the division, go work for the Astros mid-season, like, you know, Yankees clinch the division, boom, switch to the Astros, like, have like a job line with the Astros, like, immediately. Yankees play like the Rangers, some shit, the ALCS, boom, switch, go work for the, like, try to, like, job hop to not get the Yankees to the World Series. But moving on a little bit here, because I told Dylan this too. Like sometimes we'll go on a live and like it goes from a baseball Yankees live stream to a fucking Joe Rogan podcast. Which
Oh my
I
God.
listened to one. I listened to one about fucking bears because it's just bears. They're interesting as fuck. And gorillas, like holy shit, right? And now I'm getting like a million of them on my feed. No disrespect to Joe Rogan. I don't know the guy. YouTube algorithm though, like, dude, I watched one. Like, give me gorilla videos. Like, I want to know how gorillas and bears, how they fucking function. I don't give a shit about this guy. I want bears and gorillas on my feed. Like, I'm trying to know more. Like, that's when like Dylan told me about Florida, man. I was just watching Florida videos like a week. It's like weather, climate, hurricanes. I was like, oh shit, this is
Yeah,
wild.
I'm telling Ryan about it like it's like some scary landscape. Like
it is
zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, no, it's actually terrifying. Yeah, no, it's Florida is such an interesting place, and I think I went from like
it is.
I would never want to be there to like I want to go back just to like explore. I want to explore the Everglades. That's a lie. I don't want to. I'm a bitch. I get scared of like seeing a spider. If I like got like I saw this one dude he like walks barefoot in the Everglades and like yoinks snakes and gets swarmed by bugs and walks near gators. Nah, bro. Oh,
hey, you know, and they always do spring training in Florida, so I guess baseball teams like that. So
yeah, no, I can't, dude. I get humid easily. Like, nah, bro. I like wearing hoodies. Nah.
Hey, I'm wearing one right now, even though I'm in Florida. I'm wearing one right now. Maybe I'm crazy for that, but I am.
Yeah, no, I think I'm sweating my ass off here. Like it's 76 degrees up here.
I'm pretty crazy for it, but you know.
Well, you could if I get my camera close enough, you might be able to see like this is my phone right here, by the way, guys. You might be able to see like sweat. I don't know, you can't see sweat. I think it's something with blur on. But like, dude, I'm
Ryan Garcia sweat reveal.
Yeah, sweat reveal. Four-seam fastball grip reveal. I have a baseball always on my desk. But anyways, I want to see. There's some interesting questions I want to kind of. This one was interesting. This Jason Dominguez one. Jason Dominguez is bad at Double A. What do you guys think on that? So he's put up bad results, but I think his process at the play is good. And I know no one wants to hear about process right now, but too bad. Yeah, I mean he's making good quality of contact. He's walking a lot. I think it'll turn around. He's 20. If he has to spend the whole year in Double A, it's fine. I'm cool with that. So,
I haven't kept much on what Dominguez has been doing, but like you said, he's struggling right now. But he's still young. He's still got a bit of time before he gets to the major leagues, so he has time to tweak some things and figure some things out. So, not gonna totally shut the door on him just yet. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a tad bit concerned. But I'm also not gonna sit here and say this is doomsday, end of the world situation. No. I'm not at that point yet. Nah, we still got time. So,
yeah, I'm not too worried. I want talking about Glaber in the All-Star game. No, it's insane. Yeah, the second base All-Stars are so bad. There are no second basemen that were like.
Yeah, Semien deserved it, but then behind him there's not much.
Glaber doesn't even have one WAR on the season. Like everyone sucks at the position. Brandon Drury probably should have gotten it, but then he got hurt. He recently got hurt, so I'm okay with him not making it. Actually, Judge is there and he's hurt, so yeah, he should be there. Actually, Brandon Drury.
There's not much depth at that second base spot, so it just happens.
No, I don't. It's that position sucks. John Bloom goes listening while at work. What up, guys? I hope you're having a good time at work. Thank you for tuning in. Dude, it's working on a Sunday, man. Takes a lot, man. I hope you're having a good day. Hope you get some time to relax, kick back a little bit at some point during the day. It's a little rainy up here, so it's been like a rainy Sunday for me. I haven't really been able to do much today. AL is so mid since June 6th. The best record is 11-9 from 2. Really? Is that true? The AL's I feel like the Blue Jays haven't taken advantage of the fact the Yankees haven't been playing very well.
I haven't known this number, but I guess that would make sense because the Yankees haven't dropped off too far.
Right.
Since,
like they've kept the playoff
in the stretch. Yeah, so I guess that would make sense. Like really thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean,
good find, Marcus, because I didn't even know that.
No, I didn't know either. Hey, look again.
I didn't know that.
Book on the Yankee season's only out when the season ends. That's it.
Once we see the eliminated graphics on social media. That's when it's over.
There's a chance. There's always a chance. Kid Kleinsell says, so happens you don't sign any contact hitters that put the ball in play in free agency. They didn't sign anyone in free agency.
They signed minor league contracts. Our biggest signing was Wilmer Defoe.
Hey, Jake Bowers. Oh wait, did he get re-signed this offseason? I think Billy McKinney was signed this off. I know Jake Bowers left to like Cincinnati and came back last year. I don't know if he like had to re-up his contract.
Probably. I'm just
But
making an alluded joke that
man,
was like that was
yeah, no, Wilmer
Triple A
Tifo,
guys were our
is he still
marquee
here?
signings. I think I don't
I haven't
know,
seen him play in
but
Triple A in a while. I don't
that's
even
that
know.
that's just the joke I was alluded to. Like
Do you remember when he
Triple A
was
guys
here?
are still or our biggest signings, and I don't think Wilmer Defoe. I think I actually saw him hit in a spring training game in
He might have.
person
Yeah, the
once.
Nationals one, right? Because I think he played in that game. He played a lot in
You
spring
think he
training.
did? There wasn't, it's a road game in spring training, so a lot of the stars aren't there. I think Stanton played, but
Yeah, I think he did.
I think it was like him, Glaber. I'm trying to think who else. I know Donaldson was not there. I don't remember much of. I think Volpe was not there. I know that. I think Peraza was, but I don't remember. I know Cabrera was in there, and yeah, the rest of the guys were kind of just like the AAA guys. Definitely was not. I definitely didn't see McKinney or Jake Bowers though. I can tell you that. I definitely didn't see either of those two. Nor did I
I
see
feel like
Willie
we didn't.
Calhoun.
I did not remember seeing Jake Bowers in spring. I know he played, but like I just like was not paying attention to them all. Shout out him because like I did not care about him at all in spring training. No offense to Jake Bowers. You know I love him, but like
At the time, it's just like he's not making the team. But then all these injuries
yeah,
happened.
that was. I
So
think that's really it. It's just that he was never going to have a shot to make the team, and there were some other guys who could have battled for roster spots. But
yeah, you knew he
yeah,
wasn't making the team.
yeah. If the goal is to win a series, you're already behind. I disagree. If you win a series against the Orioles, it's a fucking success. Like regardless, like let's slow the roll down here. If the Yankees won this series and then won the Orioles series, I'd be sitting here like this successful. You don't have Aaron Judge. Like when you don't have Aaron Judge, if you just win a bunch of series, that's a fucking massive success. That's 666 win baseball, folks. That's a lot of sixes. 667. Let's round up that last six, right? That is unbelievably great baseball. If the Yankees played 90 win baseball without Aaron Judge, or even 85 win, if the Yankees played 85 win baseball without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are fighting for the second place, fighting for second in the division, and would have like an outside shot in the division.
Oh yeah,
So it matters.
without a doubt.
It absolutely matters.
We've been saying too, since Judge went down, the goal is to just win as much as you can. Win as much as you can, stay afloat. Usually it's always just like, oh, win as much as you can, even regularly. But like without Judge, man, you take whatever wins you get. It doesn't matter how ugly they look. Even the 1-0 win against Texas. Of course, I was not happy they scored 1 run, but I was happy they won the game because I was like, hey, we don't have Aaron Judge, so we'll take the win. We'll take it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I guess moving on a little bit here, I don't think the front look. I'll always say this: the front office can't be horrible if the team isn't horrible, but they need to get better. And we've said that a million times. But
Yeah. And I think we made
yeah,
it clear that we don't think the front office has been perfect, but I wouldn't go as far as say they've been bad. I do think the roster construction is bad, but part of that is because they've made the moves that at the time seemed like the right move, and then it ended up being a bad move. Something you couldn't have predicted, really, though. So that's not entirely on the front office. And I mean, at the end of the day, they did get Judge back this offseason. If they didn't get Judge back, then I would be saying it's a bad front office. But they did bring him back. They were able to get him back. That was what you had to do. It was that was the biggest thing you had to do in the offseason to get him back. And they did do it. I just wish they added more. But, there's still time to do it at the deadline. So.
yeah. No, it's
And
dude,
they signed Rodon. They did get another frontline starter. They were able to bring Rizzo back. So, they didn't necessarily make the moves they made were not necessarily the wrong moves. The thing that they did wrong was that they didn't go get another left fielder. They didn't get a bat that'll provide stability. That was the issue. I don't think the team they have is bad. I just think that it could be constructed a little better. And I think if you add a bat or two, then you'll have some stability and there'll be a better lineup overall. But because you don't, that's what's happening. The team we're watching right now was not the team we envisioned putting out on paper in games this season. It happened to be that way because our star player got hurt and other guys went down and other guys weren't performing as we thought they would. We thought Cabrera was going to perform pretty well. He did not. And he's here right now, but once Judge is back, he's going to go right back to AAA. So, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, no, it's been a weird year. It's been a not great year, but it's
Yeah.
been a weird one. There are a couple of interesting questions I wanted to get to that I thought were pretty interesting. That I thought were that we haven't talked about because there's some stuff here that like was during our conversation. Like this one right here, I think is super interesting. If you're Cashman, do you try to bring back Montas on a cheap 1 year deal? I've been saying this since like the second he got his surgery. Yeah, I think about it.
I'd
Like,
be
what's the
I'd be
cheap
open
number?
to it.
What's the cheap number? Right? Like, is it $10 million? Because that's not a lot of money. Is it if it's 15? Probably not. I think anything above 15, I'm good on. But below that, yeah. I mean, he's had one big injury. This is different from Severino. My issue with Severino is that he's had multiple big injuries. This guy's had one. And if it doesn't work out and it's on a 1 year, 10, like the top of your rotation is set, it's Cole and Rodon. You're going to probably want to add another starter. You're gonna have Cortez back for next year. I'm assuming Cortez is a decent pitcher at the very least. And then one of Schmidt and Herman are going to collect the final rotation spot. And you can have them battle with Randy Vasquez and Yanni Brito and Richard Fitz and Will Warren and Clayton Beater and all those guys and all that stuff. And that stuff's nice and dandy.
Yeah.
I feel like adding a veteran guy and not just having two of those spots be rookies and not spending a bunch of money on your pitching is a good idea. The Yankees have a lot of money in their pitching. They don't need to add a bunch more. And how many guys in this free agency are going to cost less than Montas? And if it's a 1 year deal, also, if he's very good next year, you're going to get the qualifying offer. And if you get the qualifying offer, if you lose him, you get a draft pick. So, if it doesn't work out, move to the bullpen. Who
and
cares?
like you said, some people might forget Severino did not pitch at all in 2020 or 2021 and pretty much most of 2022. He came back at the very end. That's pretty much 3 years off of not pitching. Frankie Montas, on the other hand, a little different situations. His first major injury, and he's going to come back at some point. He'll likely be back this season, but very late in the season. But he'll be back is the point. And like you said, maybe if you could get him on a cheaper deal to see if you could get a full season out of Montas because you never were able to, I'd be open for it. I'm open for the idea. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You sign him to a cheap deal for a reason. You don't sign him to a long-term deal because you're unsure of what you're going to get. So, yeah, that's where I'm at on it.
I think you can get surplus value there, and that's what you're looking for. You're always looking for surplus value.
Yeah, and you know what? If he pitches really well, then maybe you can consider a long-term option out of that. But
you don't have to. The thing is that you don't have to, which is beautiful.
Yeah, and you don't have to. You have flexibility. You have flexibility with it. But it's something they should consider. I'm not definitely shutting it down. I'm open to it. I just hope Montas comes back and can be effective. But that's a very big question mark because we don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. We have no idea.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, I think that would be you can get some surplus value there. I'm trying to see what other because we're near the 1.5 hour mark, so I want to make sure we get to stuff that we need to get to. Oliver O'Reilly Highland says, "Yo, Ryan, I just want to let you know I think you're the most accurate and entertaining." I don't think I am, but I appreciate you. He also has something for you doing. So he says,
he's right.
You are great and you work well together. Just haven't seen you until recently. Well, guess what? Dylan's here for every live stream. Dylan's going to be here for every live stream. Probably a couple of exceptions where I won't be here. He won't be here, but for the most part, like we are the live stream crew. So, you'll be able to see a lot of Dylan.
If you want to see me and him work together more, you check out Fireside Nick.
Yes,
we're on there all the time.
That was the next part I was going to go to.
Yeah, and occasionally we do Yankees videos. It's not like we've done a few Yankees videos this season, but the bulk of our work together is on Fireside Knicks. So if you want to go check that out, feel free to do so. It's the off season right now, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. So if you're a Knicks fan and you're watching this, go check it out. If if you're not, then so be it. You at least have us here on this Yankee stream, and yeah, I appreciate the comment though. I do appreciate it. I'm relatively new to the Yankee streams. Like, I think I've only been doing the streams for about a month and a half with you, right? It hasn't been that long.
I'm not sure.
So yeah, it hasn't been very long is the point. It definitely was not at the start of the season. I wasn't doing these live streams with him at the beginning of the season. So we started doing this maybe a month and a half ago or something. But you'll be seeing me a lot more if you keep coming back on these streams, and I'll be with Ryan almost every single time. So
Yeah. So if you want to see a lot of Dylan and I, we will not only number one be here on live streams, but again, if you're a Knicks fan, or if you just like, you want to get into basketball, definitely a good idea to check out Fireside Knicks, where you can also see Dylan, us, and I working there. And we also do some Fireside Yankees podcasts together. So
yeah,
we'll definitely have some stuff going on there. So
here
like
and there we do
yeah.
here and there we do Fireside Yankees. Usually most of the Fireside Yankees videos are Ryan and Alex, but occasionally I'm also involved in that. So and both of us also write articles for Knicks and Yankees primarily. So
yeah,
for
remember
EmpireSportsMedia.com. So
Fireside, all that stuff that is under Empire Sports Media. So if you guys want some if you guys want some articles, you guys want to talk about that stuff, there's always an opportunity with Empire Sports Media for you guys can check out our written work. And that's where I kind of feel like I have a lot of whatchamacallit. I feel like that's where I feel like we get an opportunity, not just to voice our opinion, but just to go a little more in depth. So there's that. But
let our journalistic side out and hear, more in a casual convo tone,
right?
And interact with some fans and stuff, which is the beauty of it. So that's what I love about about doing these things so much.
Yeah, no, definitely. And end of the day, we love providing content. We love being here for you guys. So if you guys ever want to make sure you guys check those stuff out, you probably should. I don't know why I worded it like that. It doesn't make a lot of grammatical sense, but it's fine. Moving on a little bit here. If you play WorkVet this year, you can keep him for 2024 and trade him and keep the farm strong. I don't know if WorkVet's going to be the guy that they call up if they were to move Higgy. I think you do that for Wells. I'm sorry. I think Austin Wells has to be here, but WorkVet has played well in AAA. I think, he handled the pitching staff well. I thought he showed a lot at the major league level. That's encouraging. I think Ben WorkVet is a quality player. I just think he has to stay healthy. And it's unfortunate because, the injury stuff's unfortunate because it's going to be hard to be a backup in this league or be a catcher in this league if you keep getting hurt. In his 89 play appearances so far in AAA, not a big sample size, 142 WRC plus, 15% walk rate, 23.6% strikeout rate. Now, the balls are juiced out of the fucking wazoo in AAA. It is crazy down there. The run environment's insane. But he does have a decent hard hit rate. I'm going to check his sweet spot percentage because that's always important. I like, obscure data. But I think he's played well. I think he's deserving of an opportunity. I think he played well enough at the major league level to be deserving of an opportunity. But at the same time, you weren't going to make that switch. When was it? Like May? What was that Red Series? That was like May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't making that switch then. He had really one big game, and that was it. And after that, he didn't really do anything of note. But then again, he also only had 9 plate appearances, so having 4 amazing ones is pretty notable. So far in the season, getting a lot of sweet spots, that's good. Let's see, what's the swinging strike rate's low? That's always good. What's the and low chase rate? Okay, maybe I'm more for this than I thought I was. So who knows?
It's an idea to consider. I'm for it. So, maybe keep him around, see what you got. But, if Austin Wells is going to be the long-term answer, I do think you got to do something about WorkVet, whether it's a trade or something, because I don't think you want to just have the guy stick around to be a backup if you traded for him. So, something to look at. They got something to think about. They got to do something though. I feel like he's major league ready, but I feel like he just doesn't have like a spot. And I also like I mentioned Austin Wells. You're not going to play Ben WorkVet over Austin Wells if Austin Wells is playing well. So
and also Austin Wells has to, Austin Wells is going to have to play in AAA. Austin Wells probably have to play in AAA. I don't think the Yankees are going to go AA to Major League Baseball.
No.
So do you feel like maybe calling up WorkVet gives you that opportunity to get Wells in AAA and move him around the diamond a little bit and get him,
That'd be an idea.
Reps? I think it does.
Be an idea. I think so.
You can do that. I think you could do that. I think that would work. I think that would, and
I think so.
Yeah, and Wells can't be like the guy who solves or fixes the 2023 season for you. I feel like that can't be the case. So,
nah.
Yeah. Moving on a little bit though. Snell plus Lowe is the only thing I see making us a legit contender. This would make you a legit contender, but number one, I don't think Soto's being traded. Number two, I don't think they're packaging Snell and Soto. You can get a lot for Blake Snell in this market because he's probably the best starter on the market, and you can get you can get a lot for Soto. Trade both of them separately, get a bunch of value. That's what they're going to do. I don't even think they're going to trade Soto. I think they'll trade Snell. I think the Yankees should go after Snell if he's available. I saw a report from John Heyman saying that they're going to shop him and Josh Hader. I don't want Josh Hader. The Yankees have enough relievers. Though not that I don't want Josh Hader would be fucking sick in this bullpen. Like, that would be awesome. But I don't want them trade. Like, that's going to cost an arm and a leg. It costs.
Yeah, for a closer too. Like,
not trading a Gleyber Torres prospect for Josh Hader. Josh Hader's been unbelievable. Holy shit, he's dope.
no, like, yeah.
1.21 ERA is sick, dude. Holy crap, this dude's sick. But yeah, I don't think the Yankees are trading for him. Someone who's more desperate will, though. Someone who is far more desperate, who needs a reliever way more than we do, will. And that's good for them, I guess. I don't think it's gonna be us though. Let's see what else we got here. There was something here I really wanted to talk about that I saw, and it's just like Ryan Sweat review before height reveal. I don't have measuring tape. I don't have any on me. When I get some, I will. Appreciate good. I think he was talking about us having a bunch of other content going on. You should do a Foolish Bailey out of the park type series to the Yankees. I would if out of the park baseball didn't make me go clinically insane. I don't know what it is. I like the game. It's just like I'll play it and like you just can't win a World Series. Like I put together a fucking super team and you can't win it. I don't know if you know out of the park baseball. Have you ever played that? It's like a PC game.
I think I've heard of it. I'm an
like,
MLB The Show guy though, so
it's the nerd version of MLB The Show. Like the less fun. You don't play. You just manage. Like it's like the nerd. Like
a franchise.
Yeah, but it's fun. But also you lose a lot, and so I hate it. So there's that. The Nova York Knicks. Yeah, Bobby, we are the Nova York Knicks. But I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up. Is there anything you think we need to get to? We got to a lot of things, I think, today.
No, I think we hit on basically everything. We mentioned today's game, how it was disappointing. The series loss, disappointing. They got the Orioles next. I mean, same thing as last time. You just gotta hope they come out and can win the series. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Just close out the first half strong. They got 2 series left, Baltimore and then Chicago. They're both at home, so they have a chance to come out into the All-Star break on a good note, off some good wins, hopefully. Let's hope, at least, because if they lose like 3 out of 4 to Baltimore, that'll be kind of sickening, and that'll really put us down in a tough spot in that AL East division. So just see what happens these next few games. Got a pretty big series coming up. Unironically, pretty big series. Could really change the outcome of your first half, if you want to call it that. So, yeah. I guess the last thing here that's actually a pretty good thing to kind of touch up on here. Leadoff Volpe, I think that could happen. I think it'll take a little bit more time. I think they'll get to that point eventually. I think it will happen at some point. Yeah, I feel like it will at some point, just because we don't have a leadoff hitter right now, really at all. That was a bad voice crack. Oh my goodness. But a consistent leadoff hitter, one that's like always playing in that same spot every single day. I feel like Volpe will be the candidate to do that at some point. I just feel like, my eyes, I think you keep him where he's at right now because he's performing well, and then see where it takes him, and then see if it's time to move him up, because I really think you want to see if you can really figure things out for more than just 1 week. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where I'm at on it. Yeah, for sure. No, definitely. And I think he'll lead off at some point during the season. But, yeah, with that being said, you guys can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and, of course, this YouTube page. And I missed something. Probably Instagram. I think I missed Instagram. Just going to guess it's Instagram. You guys can check out audio versions of our podcasts on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and obviously the video versions on this YouTube page. You can check out Empire Sports Media for all of our articles and New York sports content. And you guys can follow our personal Twitter accounts. They're above our heads. My Twitter account's being a little weird, so if I don't tweet for like random stretches, it's because Elon Musk thinks my account's a bot account. So fuck you, Elon. And hopefully the Yankees win tomorrow. So yeah. So have a good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't let the Yankees get you down too much. It is a beautiful Sunday. We are entering July 4th in a couple days. Grill up some shit, eat some food. I know my parents are doing that back home. If my dad is watching this or has watched this at all, Pops, I miss you. Go barbecue, guys. Go have some fun. And catch you guys in the next podcast or live stream. Peace out.